Hey, I'm Mickey,
And I'm Kat.
and we are Cat and Mouse Astrology, and we're here for the new moon in Pisces 2026. Big,
Mhm.
bright, and beautiful.
Right? Still in Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, Mercury retrograde, things are a little edgy with Mars.
Yeah.
Got a little edginess to this one.
Okay.
Should we take a look?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Let's go.
Yeah, let's take a look at what we got going on. Here she is. She is double checking here on the 18th of March, 2026. And we are looking at astroseek.com, which was having some little glitches earlier, but I really like their software because it means I have to go to less trouble. Like I didn't get out an ephemeris for this, folks. Um, so here it is. We've got a Libra rising, which means that, it's good to look at balance with the part of fortune there, saying that there might be fortunate to look at balance. We've got a square with Saturn, or sorry, with Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn in Aries.
No, it's not Saturn. It's Venus. Saturn's at 3 degrees. Venus is at 15.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's hard to tell with those little bumps. I wish I could make it bigger. Did that help? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you just got to look at the numbers, not just the lines.
Yeah, exactly. So 15 Aries. We are
15
still
is 15
square
Cancer.
by sign though with Aries and Jupiter, and that might be why Jupiter doesn't feel so abundant.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. For some people looking for that abundance of Jupiter, having this pile up in Aries, square Jupiter, means
Yeah.
that it's hard for Jupiter to bless things. Jupiter might be just trying to
Yeah.
um, help us through the troubles.
Can you move your clicker a tiny bit so I can see the rest of Aries?
Say again?
Can you move your clicker? There you go. Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to see Chiron there. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting because we've got such a huge stellium just leaving Pisces going into Aries. So we've got Mars at 12 degrees, and that's kind of intense. That's trine though, this
Oh,
this
Jupiter.
Mercury. I mean, sorry, this Jupiter.
Jupiter trine Mars and the water signs. Hmm.
So that's interesting. Again, I think it's ameliorating anything that may feel pokey by having Jupiter there.
Yeah, it's like, does it tone down Mars? Make Mars a little sluggish?
Or does it give energy to those Jupiterian things?
Oh, I mean, I guess which way do you want to look at it?
Yeah. Or how it impacts us a little differently depending on, where it sits in our chart
Mm-hmm.
and what's going on with us. I like this. I'm interested in both the North Node at 8 degrees and Mercury are, of course, in retrograde motion.
Wow, the North Node and Mercury are conjunct. That seems fun.
And we're recording this on the 16th. So, in fact, we have all just felt, as of this new moon, the pokiness of Mars going through the North Node and Mercury,
Mhm.
conjuncting with, because Mars is going forward and these other guys are going backwards right now.
Mhm.
So, how did that feel? How did it feel to have Mars and Mercury conjunct in your life, over the last couple days?
Mm.
That could have been harsh words, or it could have been, energy to write. Like I said, it kind of depends on, how an individual expresses this and where it is. So for me, it fits because um, Mercury and Mars are both in my sixth house, which is a house of work and a house of health. So I had a rash all over my body, which I was telling people about. Mercury is kind of a rash bringer.
I had um I had people telling me what I should do, which I never liked.
Oh, that's Mercury, Mars for real.
I really, really dislike it when people tell me what I should be doing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so think about what's Mercury, Mars doing with you, and having the moon there, again, the moon's moving fast, so it just has gone through all of Pisces pretty darn quick, and now here it is at the new moon, at the almost the last degree, having already touched the North Node in Mercury and Mars, and now here it is, maybe a little emotionally, a little wear and tear from that emotional experience with
Hmm.
Mercury, Mars.
Yeah.
So what do we get for 28 degrees of Pisces in the Sabian
We
symbols?
saw it last time. I don't remember who was there, but it is light breaking into many colors as it passes through a prism.
I like that. Will you
Yeah.
read it one more time?
Light breaking into many colors as it passes through a prism.
Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Um, it's interesting. We've got 28 degrees, 29 degrees of Pisces has been a big deal for a long time because that's where we had the closing conjunction of Neptune and Aries,
Right.
of Neptune and Saturn, which is now in Aries, and they're still conjunct. I mean, for all practical purposes, Neptune and Saturn are still conjunct. They're within 2 degrees of each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have a conjunct Saturn and Neptune giving us all those meanings that we've discussed of illusion, delusion, spirituality, lies, deception,
Mhm.
um, higher, understandings. I mean, there's both the positive and the negative of any uh planet meanings, right?
Yeah.
And Saturn, that's, the time. It says stop. It says the clock's running out. You only
Mhm.
got so much time. And Neptune going, no, time is an illusion. Time is an illusion.
Mhm.
So we're dealing with some weird stuff here that um we talked about it, and a lot of people are trying to move on from it, but sorry, we're right in the middle of it now, still here. The
Mhm.
conjunction happened and is still happening, and I think that this is still the larger sphere, the larger, what do we want to call it? Um,
Story arc.
yeah, if we're in a color wheel, this is the color that's dominating. So what do we have for, let's go first with 1 degree, and what do we have for that for Neptune?
1 degree in Neptune, the comedian entertaining the group.
Uh-huh. And how about it's really 3 closer to 4 degrees
Okay.
of Saturn.
3 is two lovers strolling through a secluded walk.
Doesn't feel like that to me.
Does not. 4, a triangle with wings.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
That is interesting.
That one's for Saturn. That feels more like accurate. The triangle with wings. Yeah,
The
exactly.
all-seeing eye of Providence.
Uh-huh.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yep.
Okay, I just found that interesting. I've seen this before.
Yes.
Aviation, delivery services, spiritual and tattoo designs.
Yeah, I mean, but like look over here at the on the right side of the screen with the vector drawings. It looks like military symbols.
Oh, is it a Nazi thing?
I don't know. I don't
That's
think it's a Nazi thing necessarily, but the Nazis did use occult things,
yeah, interesting. I mean, I'm not familiar with that symbol or its meanings,
or who all's used it over the
or
eon.
who all's used it in the past.
Yeah,
But when the Sabian symbols have specific symbols that it's mentioning, I'm curious
right.
what it is there. I'll dig deeper another time and mention it later. So what about our 15 degrees of Aries with Venus? She's offering
Ooh,
support.
brownies dancing in the setting sun.
Okay, give me some brownies dancing.
Love that symbol.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Brownies dancing in the sun.
Other kinds of creatures.
That's kind of cool.
It is.
Uh-huh.
And the brownies are like the notoriously trickster.
Right. Well, and I've been thinking about this lately. I don't know if it's relevant. Going, I'll go to the mundane and the larger world for a minute, and then we can come back to personal stuff again. But a lot of people are equating the Saturn-Neptune conjunction with the Epstein experience.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense because if you look back in the history of it, people the astrologers who have done the tracing of this near conjunction that we had last year, last summer, that became conjunct in February here of 2026,
Yeah.
and is now still, for all practical purposes, conjunct, that this deception and structure rules. Saturn is the rules. Follow the
Mhm.
rules, damn it. And Neptune is deception. No, we'll tell you we're following the rule. We're above the rules. Um, so it's interesting that it is. Um, I didn't realize this. I just learned that the Me Too movement was started by one of the Epstein survivors. Did you know
Oh,
that?
sense I did not, but that makes sense.
And it does because Epstein was, remember, supposedly those survivors, those women, believed that he had been brought to task. He had been arrested. They
Oh.
thought they were going to get justice. And that
Hmm.
was back in like 2008.
Hmm.
And then where he got the sweetheart deal from Acosta,
Hmm.
and they didn't get their day in court. They got a big wah wah.
Right.
But then he was brought to trial in 2019, and again, the astrologers who trace this, and I can't go into any of those details because I'm not tracing it. We're not doing that deep dive here now. Can go back to 2019 about what was going on with the square, Saturn Neptune, a
Ah.
Saturn square. But when we look at what's going on now, things have been exposed. Saturn is now beyond Neptune.
Hmm.
Saturn is now beyond the delusion, moving
Hmm.
faster than Neptune. Neptune is going to stay behind in Aries for 14 years or something. Saturn is going to be out of here in 2 years,
Yeah.
half years. So Saturn is now beyond the delusion, moving slowly beyond the delusion. And
Yeah.
there's that female symbol there. Um, I don't know, say maybe the Me Too movement isn't over and
Certainly
um,
not.
those women are going to finally get some retribution, even if it's posthumously. Don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but in our personal lives, what has been a delusion for you, or what have you been dealing with as far as a stop sign or the structures or the rules? Um, and now maybe the delusion is past and you're having to take a good hard look at reality.
Mm.
And how is that made better by something Venusian? I don't know. We also have Chiron in Aries, showing a need for healing.
Right.
But I like that Venus is on that brownie spot. So
Yes.
for a person who is born under the sign of Aries, this is a lot.
You mean me?
Well, you're a person born on the sign of Aries. It could be a lot.
It's a lot, but I'm on spring break, so I'm
Right. Well, this isn't today, though. This is the whole.
right. It's a new moon, so it's at least the next 30 days.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
What about Chiron at, let's say it's 25 degrees of Aries?
A man possessed of more gifts than he can hold.
Oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
More Epstein files?
No, look at gifts. Gifts.
Sorry, move off of that topic. What
Otherwise,
about,
a double promise reveals its inner and outer meanings.
does say again?
A double promise reveals its inner and outer meanings.
That's nice. Which one is that for?
24.
Both are nice.
Yeah.
We like the offerings of Chiron here. They're nice and healing.
Hmm.
And we've got the trine between this new moon and Uranus, which is offering us a beneficial opportunity for change or a sudden change that might be beneficial.
Right? Where it's been for so long, two cobblers working at a table.
Yeah. And read our sun again,
28
28 of
Pisces. Light
Pisces,
breaking into many colors as it passes through a prism.
and two cobblers at a table.
And two cobblers at a table.
That's an interesting juxtaposition.
We just got to get some work done.
Yeah, that might just like break through in some
Yeah.
inspiring way.
Help you move.
So here we come to our square, but it's also in trine with the Mercury, as you pointed out nicely. What about Jupiter at 15 degrees of Cancer? It's been there a long time, babies. Now moving direct. It was a retrograde, but it's now direct.
Yes, the man studying a mandala in front of him with the help of a very ancient book.
So that's quite like the prisms, the
Mm-hmm.
light breaking into prisms with the mandala.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. Yeah,
I like Venus. I like Jupiter there at
I
15
do
Cancer.
too. And I don't consider Jupiter and Venus in actuality to be a negative square.
Yeah, right? Can't that just be a positive change?
Right,
There's
because
mandalas, and I forget what 15 was now.
15 of the little brownies hopping around,
The brownies. Oh, that's
dancing,
perfect.
dancing brownies.
Dancing brownies
Yeah,
and
dancing brownies,
mandala.
cobblers working, and I
Exactly.
think there's some good stuff going on here. And
Yeah, better than I thought.
mhm. It's very interesting. It really makes me want to know where's Black Moon Lilith. Where is
Right.
she? And I'm not seeing her because it's I got
She's squaring the nodes.
she's squaring the nodes.
Oh.
OMG. So Black Moon is interesting because all um she is our blind spot. So what are we being blindsided by? We know we've got a war going on. We've got Mars in Pisces, and Mercury going retrograde, and a new moon that's heralding these things that are, a giant cluster in Aries. Um, we also have impending this Uranus going into Gemini.
Yeah, that'll be a nice change. But that's going to take some time, right?
It's going to be July, and most
Mhm.
astrologers are not looking at this as a nice change.
No, that's going to be like,
Well,
that's
because it's heralded historical times for the US of war.
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So I'm just trying to look again at the mundane thing as well and say, well, we looked at the conflict that Mars might be causing us personally, and there's obviously conflict being caused by Mars in the world as well.
Hmm.
So one prediction that astrology might make is that as Mars approaches its impending point of trine, sextile, if you will, sorry, with Uranus. How is
Mm,
that going to could that have an impact? Is that going to have an explosive kind of change impact? It's positive for somebody and negative for somebody.
right.
And what will happen when it's, square? Um, we've got we've got an opportunity for change here, but there's two different ways we can go with it. So what's
Hmm.
our black moon tell us about what we can't see? Let's say it's 10 degrees in Sag.
Oh, okay, because I liked 9 degrees. You want 10 degrees? 10
Well,
degrees,
it's closer to 10.
the lamp of physical enlightenment at the left temple.
Say again?
The lamp of physical enlightenment at the left temple.
Okay, so there's so many meanings for those words. Because my first word was like turn left to get to the temple over there. And my other thought was no, hold the light up to the side of your head on the left.
Exactly. And then what is physical enlightenment?
Yeah, That's a really weird. Go back to nine. Go back to nine.
Yeah, okay. The theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity.
Theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity.
So there's some opportunity here.
There's a delusion that we may, I mean, think what the meaning of Black Moon is what we are not aware of. Maybe some opportunity that wants to delude us. We think it's an opportunity, but it's not an opportunity at all. Some golden-haired person tries to present us with an opportunity that's actually, haha, not.
Or maybe our drama is actually an opportunity. Maybe the conflict and drama that Mars is bringing can turn out to be an opportunity.
Here's another thought. Read it one more time.
Uh, a theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity.
Well, it makes me think again of Neptune and the delusions,
Mm,
right? Because Black Moon again is not what we know, but what we don't know, what we can't see. And we
hmm
may be seeing the surface, seeing, some act that others want us to believe, and
hmm
believing that when behind that act is what's the last half of that?
A golden-haired goddess of opportunity.
When actually behind it is an opportunity that we're missing because we believe the act. I don't know. Black Moon, and people also argue, we've had comments in our things below. That's not actually the degree of Black Moon because that's the mean. That's not the real. And there is legitimate arguments for where is Black Moon actually located.
Okay.
I have to default to what we're going to get from Astro Seek.
Yeah, I'll
That's what most astrologers are going to be looking at and using. And so I think it doesn't benefit us to argue about actually the placement of Black Moon. It's confusing enough without. So what about Pluto? We've got it almost, let's go ahead and say it's at 5 degrees. There it sits. So close.
A masked figure performing ritualistic acts in a mystery play.
See, now that sounds like Black Moon. Say
This is
again?
more theater.
Yeah.
Masked figure performs ritualistic acts in a mystery play.
Reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. What's
Mm-hmm.
behind the curtain? Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto in the sign of the people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in trine with uh Neptune. Or
Oh,
sorry, not trine, it's in sextile with
yeah.
Neptune.
Okay.
So that sextile is lending ease to maybe more deception.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
And
very
sextile
interesting.
to Saturn.
Yeah, I mean it's what I feel, I feel like Saturn is the good guy here finally. Like Saturn is the death bringer. Death is, it's easy at
Maybe. I
some
mean,
level, huh?
I think there's still masked figures trying to control Saturn.
Sure, for real.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
That's what I mean. I feel like Saturn is sort of the good guy needing to escape from the deception and the delusion, even though we may not want to hear the um, sad truth of Saturn.
Right.
It might be necessary. It's not going to conjunct with Venus in this move because Venus is going to be moving forward beyond it. But
Right.
it's nice that Venus is there. It's nice that Venus is there. So what have we missed now? We still haven't done Mercury, right?
Yeah, we haven't done Mercury in the North Node. The race begins.
Oh,
Intent on outdistancing his rivals, a jockey spurs his horse to great speed.
please, one more time.
The race begins. Intent on outdistancing his rivals, a jockey spurs his horse to great speed. It's the year of the fire horse.
Yeah,
That's the North
it,
Node.
that feels real. That feels real both personally as pressure this time of year.
Yeah,
Um, things get busy, things quicken in the spring. Um,
right.
and also we have, we're in an election year and people are trying to deceive each other and outrace each other in a literal race.
Right.
So, I mean, that's real. And what about our Mars at 12 degrees?
Oh.
Well, let's say 13. It's closer also to 13.
Hmm. A lady wrapped in fox fur.
Oh, we're back to that lady in Foxford. Girl, let it go. Let it go. I do feel that, Mercury's retrograde now, but in a little while, in a week or so, Mercury is going to be going over that 13 degrees Pisces point,
Yeah.
talking all about that lady in Foxford.
Yeah, fuck her.
Yeah, I feel like what's going on with the lady in Foxford is going to be exposed. Uh, I don't know. Pluto can bury stuff deep, and Neptune is really foggy. Um, Things could be pretty foggy for a while.
Yeah. I like what the South Node's doing. You want to hear the South Node?
Yeah.
An expressionist painter making a futuristic drawing.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
That's what the past is bringing.
Uh-huh.
Somebody in the past is planning our future. It's great.
Now read that one more time.
An impressionist painter, an expressionist painter making a futuristic drawing.
I like that futuristic drawing.
No.
And then what is the Mercury or the South Node, the 8 degrees?
The same as Mercury.
Sorry, yeah, the North Node at Mercury. What was that again?
The race begins.
The race begins, and then they're both square to Black Moon.
Exactly.
Well, one's
The theatrical performance of the golden-haired goddess of opportunity.
uh-huh, fascinating. So yeah, it feels like probably both personally and in the larger world, we're trying to outrace some crazy crap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Some people are racing to keep the wool over your eyes, and some people are racing to expose it.
They are. I feel like Saturn is trying to race away from its status of Kronos eater of its own children and escape from the people who eat children.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got a slow ride through Aries
Yeah.
with, I believe, at least one more retrograde before this is done. So there's a lot of stuff about this. That is long term. As far as a new moon and, like making new moon type plans, um, I think if the plans involve and invoke Mars, meaning it's something you want to let go of, you want to cut out of your life.
Hmm.
Like this is a good time. I've got this is in my sixth house of health. This is a
Yeah.
good time for me to cut some things out of my diet, right?
Hmm.
If this was in your, uh 12th house, maybe you'd want to cut some uh time out of your spiritual time and do more stuff with people or something
Hmm.
related to where it fits in with the house that it's in. But using Mars can make this more effective to make your manifestations having to do with the new moon, to make your new moon um, you know, desires clear. Use Mars.
Right.
And be aware that Mercury's retrograde, so if what you're making your new moon um desires towards happens to be something that you've been trying to do in the past, like darn, I've been trying to quit eating dairy in the past and I failed and I started eating dairy again. Hey, it's a good time for me to quit it again. So it's that cut
Okay.
out again thing, you know. I would like, let's say you have this in your fifth house of lovers or your seventh house of relationships, and maybe it's time to quit Harry again. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you have it in your ninth house, higher learning or travel. Maybe it's time to, you went to travel to someplace and you didn't like it last time, but you're planning to go again. Maybe you should quit it again. So where you have this, you have it in your second house of money. Um, and you spent money on this before, but maybe you should quit it again. So
Yeah,
take a look at what house it sits in when you make a manifestation around the new moon. Use positively the energy of Mars and
right.
realize that we're doing something again.
Yeah. I do worry about that Jupiter's Venus square though, not helping out.
Yeah, but we've got the trine with Mercury. So, and Venus, as we've talked about, is I think if anything, how I feel about it is that, these are two benefics.
Yeah.
And in square to each other might mean that we have a hard time deciding. It's hard to decide, well, do I want my pleasure or do I want a bigger, brighter future?
Well, yeah, in which case go with the future because the South Node is like, hey, how about you do a drawing of the future?
Bam, right there. If it's immediate pleasure, maybe you should put that off. Saturn's climbing up your butt.
Yeah.
And instead focus on Jupiter's trine with whatever's going on in your Pisces house and that
Yeah.
that north node that really wants to take you somewhere.
It does. It does.
So
With
I should cut
foundations
out the
of
cheese and
expressionistic drawings of the future.
say again, sorry.
Like the foundations of an expressionist drawing of the future.
Right.
Whenever you draw your future, be sure you include brownies dancing in the setting sun.
Brownies dancing in the setting sun. I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need that for sure.
Yeah,
For real. There's good energy we can use here.
there is. There is.
So yeah, take that trine and make something of it and cut something out that you want to cut out. Let Mars work for you. So, any last words for our new moon?
No.
All right, well, have a great moon and cut it out. Just cut it out.
Yeah.
All right, talk to you guys next moon.
Bye.
Bye.